Okay, so this video is going to be a bit clunky because I'm still holding the phone with my hand and also just having one hand free until better equipment comes. But today we're going to talk about building stories and volume 3 of Chris Ware's Sketchbook series, which has just come out yesterday. But yeah, I've owned building stories for literally 10 years to the month now. I picked it up on Amazon in 2014, October 2014. I looked it up because I was like, I couldn't have paid so little for this, but I looked it up and I paid £4.99 for this brand new, £4.99. I think I looked it up and it's £55 currently. Yeah, so it's quite wild. This is really huge. That's no pun. This was huge when it came out. And it is still a really incredible thing. I still haven't read it, I think I said. But I'm going to kind of flick through all of its contents, and my goal for November 2024 is finally, after 10 years, to read this comic, because it's such a massive undertaking. It's so cool, but then you've got to wonder the clunkiness of it. Does that stop you from pulling it off the shelf? Is it kind of a read once and then move on? And even if it was put into a kind of, a book of, I don't know, 600 pages like this size, I don't think this is 600 pages, would it work? It would have to be so reformatted. Again, I only have one hand, so this is going to be a bit of a clunky video. Yeah, so you get 14 different books in here, pamphlets, newspaper prints. I would argue you actually get 15 because you do get some comics along the sides. A few little comics along the sides of the box itself. So that's very Chris Ware. It's pretty cool detail. Oh, he's left this one white. That's not very Chris Ware. But yeah, my understanding is it follows the lives of a few people who all share an apartment building together and maybe some crossover. I don't think I've opened this more than twice in 10 years, and that's ridiculous to have something that long. I do kind of have a rule: if I don't read something after 5 years again, then I maybe need to consider chucking it or, passing it on. But yeah, we're going to really quick glance through this because I feel like, yes, this came out, I don't know, 15, 16 years ago now, but no one talks about it anymore, and I wonder if there's a whole readership that doesn't even know about this. Maybe? Is Chris Ware still relevant in 2024? I don't know. I feel like Seth and Klaus, there's a whole generation of readers that probably don't care about that stuff, which is a shame. This is sorry for all the quote unquote hidden mess that you're gonna see. This is a really clunky video. yeah, I don't have like a fancy stand yet, so, but you know, you can't keep waiting to like do videos. This one's gigantic. I can't even get it all in one shot. It's really big. I mean, this is what, 1, 2, 4 of a standard hardcover book, give or take, maybe a little bit oversized. Yeah, this one's too big to even flick through, to be honest. Yeah, we're gonna, I mean, maybe in 50 years when I finish reading all this, because I think, you know, a month to read this is maybe a bit delusional. That's a really nice panel. Yeah, I flicked through this the other day when I was getting it out, and obviously Chris Ware has an ongoing sense of loneliness, isolation, and I wondered, is that why it's taken me so long to consider reading this? Because it seems so depressing, so cool and so depressing. But yeah, I really don't know anything about the characters in this, to be honest. I think this folds open, but like I said, this is a pretty disjointed video. This is, I wish they were all about this size. This is a bit easier. This is kind of like 8-ball 22 size. It's manageable. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I must be the millionth person to have this criticism about the awkwardness of it, but you know, at the same time, like, that's clearly intentional. I just wonder why it's intentional. This pamphlet seems to just be totally silent comics. Yeah, a lot of this stuff was released in like McSweeney's and stuff, I believe, originally. Yeah. This isn't a, you know, in-depth report about it. I don't know how many years this took for him to finish. I went to a talk that he did once, a kind of like moderated Q&A in Edinburgh, probably I don't know, 12 years ago. It was really cool, and he had plenty of ideas for comics that he wants to do. Yeah, he talked about a kind of another building stories idea. I can't quite remember it now, but it was kind of about focusing on people's lives in like a hospital or a school. This has no illustration. Again, intentional, but why? Yeah, that's fucking depressing. Yeah. Will I finish this in 30 days? Have you finished this? Has it taken you 10 years to consider reading this cover to cover? You can read all these pamphlets in any order as well. I think I'm just gonna go from whatever's at the top of the pile when I open the box. And then lastly this one, which is a nice like hardcover. Yeah, I remember you could get like was that like a crappy bookmark from years ago? Just some like tissue where I started to read it. I wish I dated this. See, these really aren't rehearsed. These really are rough and ready. Yeah, I think years ago you could get a cardboard fold out of the building and you could build it. I think we had a few at the place I work. And then, yeah, the inside is just, you know, stuff most people don't care about, but I find interesting. Yeah, appeared in New York Times, McSweeney's, Manchester Guardian, Chicago Reader. Yeah, 2012 this came out, so I must have gone to see him just as this came out. Anyway, we shall see. Sorry, I'm just moving a chair. This is a very clunky video. Yeah, in 30 days you'll find out if I finished or even started building stories. If I don't post about it, I didn't get to finish it. Okay, so this just came out, the third and final sketchbook collection of Chris Ware. I flicked through this the other day for 5 minutes and it actually looks really cool. I have read 1 and 2. This has a different feel. I don't have 1 and 2 anymore. I borrowed them years ago, probably 10 years ago, from I think actually 2015, I remember. Yeah, so I don't have them anymore. Kind of like again, I'm very aware of books that you kind of want to read once or twice, but I don't need to take them home with me forever because they're just going to take up so much space on the shelf. But volumes 1 and 2 had a lot of autobio comics, all in black and white, that would take up most of the page and a few empty panels, and they were very self-deprecating. I'm sure this contains those, but it's done in a very different way. I wonder if by book 2 of his sketchbooks collections, was he more aware of like an audience at this point, of like, okay, this stuff probably is going to be published. Like, I feel like you get a lot more comics in this one, and it's pretty expensive. It's like £40, $40, give or take. You can now get it in a trilogy box set, which was pretty tempting, but was like £100. And you can get volumes 1 and 2 secondhand, like really cheap now because it's pretty old. But yeah, this is the one. This is the golden one, I think. Yeah, just I feel like his color palette complements each comic strip so much better. Like, he obviously thinks about everything he does to a very like intense degree. This just somehow feels like he's perfected it a bit more. Yeah, you just get so much more in here. like even this is, it's just so much. I mean, if you know Chris Ware, you know, but like just the amount of detail on just everything, like this minute lettering, which I think, is it true? Is it he does all his own? It's all hand lettered. I know he'll make some amendments at the last minute. All the text for the back cover is upside down, which isn't a big deal, but saw this when I was picking it up and just thought it was kind of funny. It says the price, and then USA, should the American experiment endure. And then for Canada, if you reside safely northward of same. It looks huge on this camera, but that's so small. I wish I had like a penny or something to compare it to. Yeah, let's go over this a little bit more. Yeah, so this is really expensive, but I don't know, it's kind of like Building Stories was, 10 years ago. I got lucky, it was on some weird sale, but that was £5, and I feel like this is a better deal. It's more convenient, it's far more expensive, but it just, there's such a variety to this. But really it's trying to compare like, one genre to another. They're pretty different. Incredibly different. Yeah. I just think this looks far more appealing. Maybe Building Stories feels a bit daunting. But yeah. This is like just over 200 pages. Yeah. So it just came out. Who knows what Chris Ware is working on next, or if he's working on anything, or maybe a million unfinished projects, but this is his latest and it looks really solid. Yeah, check it out. Let me know if you are still reading Building Stories 10 years in, what you think of it. I'm scared. I don't think I'll ever finish it. But yeah, thanks for watching.